Hello, welcome to the Inside Killeen podcast from KDH News. My name is Jacob Brooks, managing editor of the Killeen Daily Herald and co-host of Inside Killeen, a podcast about news, events, and politics in the Killeen-Fort Hood area. With me today is my Inside Killeen co-host, Kevin Limiti, the Metro editor at KDH News. He covers local government, and we also have staff reporter Jada Holcomb. We are recording from the KDH News studio, which is inside the newsroom at KDH News in Killeen. And today we're going to talk about the Lamar Odom effect. As we and other media have been reporting for more than a week, Lamar Odom, the two-time NBA champion, has been hanging around Killeen talking about opening an academy and filming a new reality show called Mayor of Killeen. So, Kevin, I think we heard about Lamar Odom last week, and we saw it in a Facebook post from Killeen Police Department. That's where we first saw it, right? And then kind of tell me what happened at that point.
Well, it certainly turned out to be a lot bigger of a deal than I initially expected it to be.
Right.
To be honest, I wasn't even aware of who Lamar Odom was until that news broke. Yeah. And I was endlessly made fun of by people in my personal life about that fact. I guess
you never heard of him.
Exactly, because I don't watch basketball. I don't watch reality TV if I can help it. So, it was very weird. But nevertheless, when he showed up at City Council that day, it was exciting. I think a lot of people kind of got the bug just from him being there. I think people were just happy to be in his presence. I mean, he is a larger-than-life figure. He's very tall. He's the tallest man I think I've ever seen in my life. He's 6'10".
6'10", yeah.
Yeah. So.
And he was not expected to attend. It was a surprise when he showed up during the city council meeting on that Tuesday night.
Well, I don't know how much of a surprise it was for city officials. I mean, they had planned on taking a break after citizen comments, and then he showed up kind of when Melissa Brown, who is a former councilwoman that is very vocal at council meetings, the tail end of her comments. He just kind of sat down, and he sat down next to my colleague Joseph, not directly next to him, but in the same aisle. And I gave him my camera, and I told him to take a picture of him because he could get a better angle of the shot than I did. We didn't end up using that photo in print, but I mean, that eventually, he did take photographs in front of the council dais, and yeah, it was very interesting. I mean, not even getting into any of the particulars of what Odom was trying to do. It is very interesting.
Yeah, I know me, Jacob, and the other reporters and editors were sitting in the newsroom watching the council meeting, and we saw, he walked in, he was really tall. I wanted to know what was the reaction that other people had when they saw him sit down in Joseph's area. Did other people know who he was, or was it kind of just everybody was just worried about what was going on in the council meeting?
Well, the city officials knew who he was, which kind of plays into why I think that they probably had at least some foreknowledge that he was going to be there. And of course, he was there with two of his people. They might have been business partners. They might have. I don't think they were publicists or anything like that. I ended up meeting one of them not too long ago, like I said, it was very interesting. I think it did rub some people the wrong way because of the nature of the city council meetings and what was being discussed.
Which you wrote about in your column this past Sunday, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, there was a lot to take away from that. I mean, one thing is that we've been told, and it's a little bit iffy, because we haven't actually heard this from Lamar Odom himself, but one of his people, a man by the name of Amaris Hines, who I believe lives in Killeen, he said that he was planning on running for mayor. Now, to run for mayor, you have to be in the state for 12 months, and you have to be a resident of Killeen for 6 months. So it doesn't seem possible that could happen. I mean, just based on him just arriving like a week or two ago. So
Coach Hines also said as well, other celebrities were going to be coming to the area doing similar things. So I don't know if he's really speaking, trying to be entertaining.
Yeah.
Or if
And
he's,
what celebrities did he mention?
He mentioned Kanye West, other NBA stars.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if he was joking or not, but he said something about the Kardashians
Right.
before Lamar made a comment about he would call them and stuff.
And Lamar was married to a Kardashian.
Yes,
right?
Chloe, I believe.
And
he
they
was
had
married
their
to her.
own reality show called Lamar, or Chloe and Lamar. I guess
Right. I
it was.
remember him, of course, when he was on the show.
On the regular Kardashians.
On the regular Kardashians.
And he was a regular.
Member. He was like in every
He
episode.
would come in because was he married to Chloe at that point or dating her?
It's been years since I watched it. They were dating for years though. Even
Yeah.
when they kind of split, she was taking care of him.
Yeah.
When he got sick, and she
Yeah.
was watching him, and
Right.
they still had him on the show every few episodes. So. He made it seem like they were still all really close. When I went to the press conference, he mentioned
Right.
their relationship.
And it was the press conference where we kind of learned the most. So on last Thursday, which would I guess been the July 3rd,
Right.
July 3rd at Anderson Chapel AME Church. They had a press
Right.
conference that day, 2:00. And then Jada, you went to cover that. So
Right.
what was it like when you got to the church? What was it? Lamar wasn't there yet, but what was
Right.
it like? Who was there? What was the atmosphere like?
So it was mostly preteens to kids there, and
Yeah.
then their parents.
Right.
So it was mostly kids,
Yeah.
and they were kind of sitting in the front. That was before other media showed up. I
Right.
think KDH was one of the first
Yeah.
medias to show up. And then, like as it got closer to the event, other stations came in and set their cameras up.
Right.
A little bit more kids came in. During
And
that.
the kids, where did they come from? Was it like Coach Hines?
So the
people-
first set of kids were just there. I guess they heard about the event and just,
Yeah.
I guess it was kind of, the way it was set up was like it was for kids.
Yeah.
So a lot of random, community
Yeah.
members came
Right.
by. But then before Lamar showed up, it's not a posse, but
his entourage?
right,
Yeah,
right.
right. No, he came in with
yes,
some people.
Then
Yeah.
there was more kids that came with them. So I
I
don't know if they
see.
rode in the same
Right.
car, but
Yeah.
they came in the door with them.
Yeah.
I don't know if he just filmed or did a basketball camp, or which we'll get into that. But
Yeah.
some other kids that came with him showed up, and they kind of sat on the right side
Yeah.
of where he was.
Yeah.
And they were just chilling and having a good
Yeah.
time.
So, and what was there like a buzz, like a it was exciting
Yeah.
vibe?
Because it's been a week.
Yeah.
He walked in.
With sunglasses.
Yes, he had his shades on.
Yeah. Were they expensive sunglasses?
They,
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, all I can say, I was mostly trying to look at his height because I kept
Yeah,
hearing about how
he's
tall he was.
Right.
I'm not even 5'10" yet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he didn't look that tall to me, but
Yeah.
he looked like a regular height.
Yeah. Okay. So, but he was the tallest guy in the room.
Yes, he was
Yeah.
for sure the tallest guy in the room. Yes.
So he came in with his people, and then
He seemed like he was in a good mood.
Yeah.
But he also seemed kind of tired, like he was moving a lot. I think
Yeah.
they did mention that he just got off some flights, and he's been busy.
Yeah.
So it was surprising he showed up because we heard he was going to show up, but actually seeing him come through to the event, especially since it was catered to kids, and
they announced that he's going to he wants to start this academy, and they're calling it the Lamar Odom Academy. That was kind of the purpose of the press conference, to announce this.
Yes.
And
so before, sorry about that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before he spoke, Johnny Burry.
Johnny Berry, who's a
Yes.
member of Odom's executive team.
Yes, he was
Yeah.
the opener. So he was kind of getting everybody settled and letting them know prior what type of questions we should be asking.
None of that internet stuff. he
Right.
said.
No celebrity gossip, just strictly about the academy.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't just media asking questions. I know a couple of parents.
Yeah, there was a mom.
She
said, "I'm just a mom here," and she was asking about. Well, do you remember what she asked? The mom.
The mom asked. I don't remember, honestly. I was kind of
The main question was why Killeen.
Yeah, that was what the first reporter
right.
from, I believe it was KCN, I forgot, but
Yeah.
she asked that, and their main response was, why not Killeen?
Right.
And
Yeah.
then what he said after, I don't know if it got backlash or not. I'm not sure, but I did see a comment on it when he spoke about how Killeen's a black city, and
Right.
I guess he said it would be a sin to not, I guess.
Yeah, sinful, and he would be stupid or something, not to, something like that.
Yeah,
it's
not
like
very smart.
So like he's got to do this. He feels like he's got to do this.
Right.
And but if I remember right, the main news was he's planning to open this Lamar Odom Academy, K through 12. And there was another guy that spoke there. His name was Mike Cleveland.
Okay.
He was an older gentleman. He had like a nice collared shirt. He spoke, and he mentioned private school, and he mentioned it's going to have, I think, like 6 basketball courts, volleyball courts. He said maybe pickleball, maybe some football, and he said private. I heard him, in the recording. He said private school.
Yeah.
Like which would be like a charter school or private school. So. So that's, and then they talked a little bit about location. They talked about 2 possible locations.
Right. Stan Schluter, I believe, was one of them, and the other one.
195, Highway 195, South Killeen.
Yes,
so they got,
pretty much in South Killeen.
And they said, and I think Johnny Berry said under contract, meaning, which I think means they're negotiating, to try to get some land.
And I'm not sure if I heard it right, but I know he was teaming up with, is it DCS? Something like that. I'm trying to remember the name. But the lady spoke and said they were teaming up with them. And
yeah.
Yeah, she's part of a construction contracting company.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know more about that, or you kind of just?
I happen to know that they're members of the Innovation Black Chamber of Commerce.
There's some kind of like engineering, construction type company.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. So, and then, and there were some other supporters there. Jessica Gonzalez was there, who's a Killeen councilwoman. She was there. And it's almost like he's, and then of course he had gone to the Killeen City Council 2 days earlier. So he's like getting political support, it would seem,
It didn't feel like that to me when I was there, but who knows what's happening behind the scenes,
Sure, yeah.
I know the mayor is off for him, I believe, in a positive way.
Well, she had his NBA ring on.
Right.
So that
Oh, yeah.
picture.
The mayor's very happy.
Yeah, she was. They were at like, and you used the word, and I used the word in another article. They were enamored with them.
I think that's not an exaggeration.
Yeah, they were like giddy.
Yeah, it's that feeling you get when you like meet someone who is almost like your hero.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not suggesting that that's like exactly the case in this instance, but it's that feeling you get when you meet someone famous. I mean, even I felt it a little bit. Like there was like
you shook his hand.
I did, and my heart was pounding, and I was like, and I was very nervous to do so. But I mean, I just felt like I ought to introduce myself.
It's not expecting.
Now, is that the only time you've been in the same room with him? Because you went to the club.
Yeah, he wasn't at the club at the time. Instead, I spoke to a couple of people who. From the Panama City Bar and Grill, and
South Killeen.
Yeah, which that was where Lamar Odom was having his not sure what you would call it, a party or a fundraiser. I don't think it was a fundraiser, but but in any case, he was supposed to be there doing like a sort of like
that Friday night,
making an appearance.
I think it was a fundraiser. I think he was. like, and I think celebrities do this. They'll like, if you want a photo with the celebrity, here's 20 or $30 or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was doing that or maybe.
Well, the reason why I'm hesitant to call it a fundraiser is
Yeah.
because the details were somewhat vague.
Right.
And they're still vague.
Yeah.
I guess that's really the only thing that I would say gives some people pause is just about how strangely like altogether everything is. Like, Mr. Hines was not just talking about a basketball academy. He was also talking about services for like mental health patients, like with bipolar and stuff.
Yeah.
He was talking about like senior citizen like programs. When we first saw the video, he just mentioned the basketball academy. So it just feels like
we're getting little tidbits from different people that like.
Coach Hines mentioned that to you?
yes,
Oh, okay. Got you.
yes,
Yeah. So it's hard to know exactly what all this is going to look like.
Yeah.
Because it's not, because we hear this from one person, this from
Right,
another
yeah.
person. Lamar says this, and then there's not that we can find like a website or something that kind of details the project, from the organizers.
yeah. The spirit of it seems like a great thing.
Yes.
but
Right.
But I've never heard of a basketball academy having like also a mental health resource
Right.
and like a senior citizen resource. If people listening have heard of something like that, I'd love for you to share it with me because it just seems like it's very ambitious, but it also seems a little bit thrown together without too much thought.
Yeah.
I know he said for his academy they're mostly focusing on STEM and e-gaming. However, those two correlate. When I was at the press conference, they barely ever mentioned basketball. But when they're speaking to other people, they do mention basketball a lot.
Yeah.
So it kind of confuses me
Yeah.
because I believe it's going to be mostly centered like a regular school would function. But then sometimes they throw on the basketball loop when they're speaking to other people. And when he recently went to Louisiana, he hosted that basketball camp for the kids, and then he said the same thing he told us. He's planning on building a Lamar Odom Academy and doing a STEM program, e-gaming.
And this was on Tuesday night this week in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Right.
And almost very similar to Killeen. He shows up in Shreveport. And we actually knew he was going to go to Shreveport because Kevin got that tip last week.
Right,
From
yeah.
Coach Hines.
Yes.
Said
Yeah, because I was actually thinking if he's going to be staying in Killeen for a while, then maybe I could get an interview with him while he's here. So I said to Mr. Hines, I was like, is it possible that I could get an interview with Lamar Odom next week? And he said no, because he was going to be in Shreveport, Louisiana. And if this was to actually help people who, like kids who like could use like the activities and could use the support, I'm all for it.
Right.
I guess just the reason why we question is because it's in our nature as journalists, as professional skeptics.
Well, a lot of people are questioning it because it's almost, it almost seems too good to be true. And then B, there's just a lack of specifics, Who's going to fund it? How is it going to be funded?
Yes,
because the build is, they're saying 62,000 square foot facility. That's big. That's like, a decent sized grocery store.
Right, and they said during the press conference as well, because someone asked who's going to be funding it, and they made sure to say that it's not going to be the city's funding, at least for Killeen. I can't speak for Louisiana, and if they're going to fund it or not. But they said over here it's mostly community support who's going to be funding it. So I'm assuming that'll be fundraisers and the community donating.
Or if they have some kind of investors, like
Right, yeah.
Lamar said OPM, other people's money.
Yes.
And then there's also a millionaire in Austin that has been mentioned.
Yeah, I think that they might have received some backlash about that OPM statement because Mr. Hines kind of addressed that, and he mentioned that other people's money is how like businesses like fund projects,
investors and things like that.
right? And he did mention that there was an investor in Austin who was a multi-millionaire, Joseph Moore, I believe his name was, but we haven't exactly been able to track him down just yet.
Yeah.
But we would like to ask him some questions just because it would help like give us a better idea of like what the vision is here, because you wouldn't invest in something if you didn't have some sort of idea of what's going to be happening. So
and I feel like my personal opinion, I don't see regular community members, taxpayers and funding most of it. I just don't see us coming together like that and funding this project because it's still split in half, 50-50. Some people trust it, some people don't, and then even some of the people who trust it, it's not like they make, like you said, like millions.
Right.
So I do think it would come from like either an individual or organization or a group. I could see maybe that happening, but I don't think we could raise that much. It's just a community.
Yeah, it would be because to buy the lands and build the building, I mean, we're talking about millions of dollars. I don't know how many, but millions. And then, of course, if it does turn out to be a K through 12 school, you got to have teachers and principals, custodians, everything. So a lot of employees. And then, of course, you got to have the kids that go. And he kind of addressed some of that. He said, everybody he talks to say there's a need, and so.
I mean, it's worth noting also that between 6 months and a year ago, I'm just guessing off the top of my head, there was a huge push for a rezoning item that was going to put a sports facility into Killeen. And in a way, it's sort of similar to what Lamar Odom was planning on doing. But then after that happened, and there was a lot of excitement about it, at least at the city council level, but after that happened, we didn't really hear anything about it since.
And I know like a month ago, I got to look at my notes, but I wrote an article on a group trying to start a sports complex that focuses on basketball. It's like a gymnasium.
They got to GoFundMe they're doing.
Right. We put a GoFundMe up. It was a lot, they were asking for because, it's a whole complex. And they had where they wanted to set it up. They said they were going to start with the bathrooms and bleachers first and then work their way from that. But that's the last time I heard from that. And then Lamar kind of came in soon after I, posted that article. And for both to be maybe built around the same time, both using community funds and however they're going to get that money, that's why, it's going to be hard to focus on which projects should people invest their money into.
Well, that's why it would seem to make sense to me that Lamar Odom join with some of these people and kind of work together. And I think some council members have expressed that to me, the idea of like them getting people who are already like embedded in the community to work with him, because I mean, it's great that he's here and I could see this being a net positive thing possibly, but it could also be a negative thing if nothing happens and people are just left disappointed.
I agree,
Yeah, especially if they submit money into something and it doesn't pan out. That would be worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So
that leaves an ugly taste in people's mouths.
And it's all the more reason, for the Lamar Odom Academy and the people organizing it, to be transparent and say, hey, this is our plan, A, B, C, we want to do this. It's going to it's estimated to cost this, with mission statements and clear goals and stuff like that. And I think that may be what's missing here and causing, skepticism. Now, if it's out there, great, but, let's see it. So, and that's a lot about what we've been writing about.
The way it's panning out and the way they're speaking about it is like it's a for sure thing that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And they're very confident it's going to be built. So maybe there's stuff we don't know, and maybe they're already getting a lot of funding for it. But yeah, they're.
Because Jada, you found that in Las Vegas there is a school. I think it's called Ascension Academy.
Yes,
something
that's
like that.
Odom Ascension Academy,
Yeah.
School of Excellence in Sports.
And it exists.
The website is still up. The school, Ascension Academy, is still taking applications for 2025 to 2026.
Yeah.
But that's just their overall school.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the Odom part was a side project they were doing for 2024. But when you go on the website and look at specifically the Odom Ascension Academy, that was posted 2024 on the website. I tried to reach out and see if Lamar is still working with the academy.
You called the school.
Right, called them multiple times. I did end up submitting some emails today and yesterday, so just waiting for them to get back to me. No one's posted about it though. The school hasn't posted anything on any social medias. I haven't found the school on any social medias.
There's just a website.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. The academy, I would think an academy, even if it's private, has at least a Facebook page or Instagram.
Yeah, you would think.
There's no page, social media at all saying it exists. It's just a website.
So hopefully they call you back and we can talk to the principal or superintendent, whoever they got, and they can explain it all. And Lamar Odom's, association with the school. And then he's trying to do the Lamar Odom Academy in Killeen, and then he's also trying to do the Lamar Odom Academy in Shreveport. So that's 3 different states. So we've got Nevada, Texas, Louisiana, and so it's very interesting.
Yeah. I could see him going around and doing more cities. That's kind of where I am right now. That's how I'm thinking about it. Should he do more cities? That's another discussion.
Or focus just on one. Focus on Killeen or something. Yeah. So those are all good questions. And I just want to let our listeners know they can read. We've published, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 stories already on Lamar Odom, including videos and certainly photos. You can catch it all at kdhnews.com. They've been running in the Killeen Daily Herald. We also have a series going. We ran part 1 in last Sunday's edition, the July 6th edition. We're calling it the Lamar Odom Effect. The headline was Lamar Odom Effect, Excitement, Skepticism, and the Killeen club scene. Because Lamar likes to hang out at the clubs. Paradise, no, what is it? What's it called?
Panama City.
Panama City Bar and Grill down on Atlas in South Killeen. And then I also found out that he's hung out a few times at the Hangover Bar and Grill on Elms, which is another popular night spot in Killeen. And so, and then if you watch the reality shows, I think he goes to a lot of clubs and stuff. But that's where he hangs out, and that's you went to Paradise City and Panama City, Paradise City. I can't get him. But anyway, that's part 2 of the Lamar Odom Effect will run this Sunday in the Killeen Daily Herald and online at KDH News. And I just want to let our listeners know, keep watching and listening, and we'll be talking about it more and kind of see where it goes. So thank you, Kevin and Jada, and I think that'll do it.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.